Hi guys, I hope you're well. If you're new here, my name is Blessing Albright and you are so welcome to my channel. So I wanted to create a separate channel where I could, share my lifestyle vlogs, share my travel videos, as well as talk about hot topics that have been bugging my mind. So yeah, if you're new here, you're very welcome. Don't forget to click the subscribe button because there's going to be loads of interesting stuff on this channel. So today, you guys, we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic that I've been wanting to talk about for years. Okay, so I wanted to talk about my Big Four experience and how much it has literally changed my life. So backstory, I am currently 25 years old. I started my Big Four career when I was 18 or 19. Okay, so I got into PwC in October 2018, which means I was basically 18. My birthday is in December, so it was just before my 19th birthday, right? So I got in as an associate. I was put in the internal audit department, and now I'm 25. I'm currently in a Big Four. I'm currently in EY, and I'm still doing internal audits, right? So I've basically been doing internal audits for the past 6 years of my life, all in a Big Four, right? And it's been a very, very interesting experience, and I just really wanted to share this video to discuss my experience, because who knows, if I just help somebody out there to know what they're getting into, because I know like a lot of people, especially people in like the accounting, economics kind of field, usually would typically know about the Big Four, right? And of course it's like one of the best companies that you can get into, especially if you have like degrees in accounting, etc. In case some people watching this video don't know what the Big Four is, so they are basically like the biggest four professional services firm in the world. So it includes Kpmg, EY, PwC, and Deloitte. So those are the Big Fours, and yeah. Anyway, so yes, I was in PwC, and then I'm currently in EY, which means I've been in 2 of the Big Fours. So I've definitely seen like I've definitely had like different experiences, and I've definitely spent a good number of years experiencing the Big Four. Okay, so like I said, I got in bright and early. I was literally a teenager when I got into the Big Four, and this meant that I was a bit young and immature a little bit. But of course, the thing is, I was actually like in the best hands. I was working in an organization where my age did not matter. What mattered was all the knowledge that I could get and all the learning experience that I was going to have access to. You guys, it was literally like one of the best times of my life, right? So I was working in an organization that was very fast-paced, which means everyone was moving quickly, so you needed to get in or get out, like literally. So yeah, it was a very exhilarating experience for me. I had learned from like the best people. I was working with people who had like years of experience, and it was just really interesting getting into that space. And yeah, I feel like I definitely learned a lot, right? There was just so many learning experiences. I was put on so many different projects with clients across different industries, so like that exposure as well just really like opens your mind to like so many different things, and especially working in internal audit as well. I feel like because internal audit is a lot of like, it covers like a lot of process, what organizations do. We try to understand what they do, the operations, how they operate, and all of that good stuff. So it definitely gives you like a broad overview of how different companies operate. So like the experience is basically just unmatched. Like you could literally learn so much in as little as a year. And I was in PwC in Nigeria for about close to 3 years, just a little under 3 years. So after I got in as an associate, I was promoted to senior associate, I think after about 1 year and 6 months. So the progression as well is also so fast. Like you could literally like get promoted like every year. So in PwC, then they had like the associates, then they had the experienced associate level, which they called the A2 level, then before the senior associate level. So I joined as an associate, got promoted to an experienced associate, and then to a senior associate, all under 3 years literally. So like every year that I was there, I basically got a promotion, right? So the progression was so good. And then I moved to EY as an assistant manager, and yeah, it's been very interesting as well. But it's definitely been a different dynamic from working in PwC, because like in PwC, like it's definitely different working in the UK than working in Nigeria, right? Like generally. So yeah, there was definitely that difference. Like I'm working with people who is not exactly from we definitely do not share the exact same backgrounds, and also it was definitely like a much more different dynamic, but it was also very interesting and definitely brought its own spice to the work, because you get to experience people from other backgrounds and different cultures, and you get to just have your mind opened up to like new possibilities and new things basically. So yeah, it's also been a very, very interesting ride. And yeah, one thing I wanted to say as well is the fact that working in the Big Four definitely opened up like international opportunities. So like me getting the EY UK job was definitely because of my experience with PwC in Nigeria, right? So like, because the Big Four is very international, like they have like presence in so many countries in the world. You could literally get a job like with any one of them in any part of the world basically. So like, once you have Big Four experience, it's like easily transferable to literally any country where a Big Four exists, and they exist in so many. So talking on the international exposure, right? You could also be working in Nigeria and literally like be working with people in the US or people in the UK. Like the exposure that you can get is basically like limitless. Like there are so many different opportunities and so much learning that can be done, trust me, in a Big Four. Okay, so now aside the international exposure, another thing I was going to mention is the kind of clients that you get to work with, because the Big Four is of course very well recognized and respected. This means you will be interacting with clients of like the highest level. Like we're talking like FTSE 100, we're talking the top organizations of the world. Like literally these are the kind of clients that the Big Four services. So you will be interacting with people who are working in these organizations, and even as you start to grow in your career, you start to like interact with like C-suite level executives and like the top people that are actually making those companies run. So like the exposure is, you guys, I cannot like literally contain it in words. Like it's a lot, to be honest. And that kind of exposure is what other companies look for in people who they want to recruit, right? Which brings me to the other part of it, right? Lots of organizations, when they want to recruit, especially like for accountants or like auditors or people in that kind of space, people coming from like the professional services or consulting background, they would typically prefer to have people from the Big Four, right? So lots of times you see some job advertisements that would say Big Four experience preferred, or there's an advantage if you're coming from the Big Four and things like that. So this definitely like gives you an edge when you're also applying, when you're trying to like move outside of the Big Four and you're trying to like get a job somewhere else that is not the Big Four basically. So which means the world is basically your oyster. You could literally like get a job with lots of like top organizations. So like the kind of edge that be working in the Big Four basically gives you guys, it's a lot. And the other day I saw a tweet about somebody talking of how these Big Four salaries are quite small, but you get really good experience. And it's actually not true, because the Big Four actually pays really well. They definitely pay like more than average salaries in every country that they are in. They definitely, at the very least, right, they'll be paying what the average salary in that country is or in that city or whatever. But yeah, the Big Four definitely pays quite well. Of course, they don't pay like the most money, of course, because there are so many people. It's a very large organization. They have so many people that they need to pay and whatnot, and partners, of course, collect a lot of money. So yeah, they need to somehow make the money go round, but they definitely do not pay like shitty salaries, especially like when you compare it to like the average salary of the city or the country. So you definitely get at least a reasonable pay for your work, that is for sure. And of course, there are always opportunities to make more money if that is what you want to do. Then of course, as you climb up the ladder as well, the pay gets better and better, because like some partners anyway make like really great money and things like that. So if that is the part that you want to go on, so there are different parts, of course. Some people choose to stay within the Big Four to try to rise to the level of partnership, or some people tend to go the other way and move out of the Big Four and go into the industry where they find a company that they work full-time for. So those are some of the pros of working in the Big Four. So maybe we should start talking about some of the cons, or some of the things that I do not find exactly exciting, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, one of it of course was the fact that there are so many different clients that need to get work done. So sometimes you could be placed on multiple projects, but in my line that didn't happen so often, thankfully, because I found that in the last couple of years I've been in the Big Four, I've mostly been on sort of like secondments. So I've been like seconded to clients. So when you are seconded to a client, they typically would want you to give your 100% attention to that particular client. So they typically would not give you other jobs, right? But sometimes when it's not a secondment arrangement, it's okay for you to like have like 2-3 jobs that you're managing at the same time. Another thing that could occur with working in the Big Four is that sometimes some people tend to get overworked, which means you could potentially work long hours and things like that. But I didn't have to do that so much in my line of work. I was able to, I think, manage the situation in a way that I was able to like create that boundary, you know. But if you're in some units or some departments like external audit, I feel like it's potentially unavoidable. Yes, so for me, I didn't exactly need to work long hours, so that was fine for most of my career. Yeah, but I think aside that, I think I found the experience really good, to be honest. I feel like I would not be where I am today without my Big Four experience, and I'm absolutely grateful for all of it, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly. I feel like everything has sort of like molded me into the individual that I am today. And yeah, I always say that somehow the Big Four feels like a place for like extroverts, because there's a lot of like interactions with people. You literally cannot avoid that. Like there's a lot of like conversations with clients and things like that. But the truth is, like, even if you're not exactly an extrovert, you can still make it work, right? You know, have relevant conversations, come out of your shell, and you know, be pleasant to your clients and things like that, you know. But yeah, it definitely feels like a word for extroverts, if you know what I mean. But you know, you definitely can make, if you're an introvert, you definitely can make it work as well. What else? I think, yeah, really, I'm just really grateful for, you know, the opportunity that I've had so far, you know, the clients I have worked with. It's been a roller coaster journey, of course, but it's been mostly good, like mostly good. In fact, in recently I also got like a high performance award in EY, which is very exciting for me, because yeah, it's a better bonus than the regular bonus that they would typically give, right? So yeah, that was very exciting. Yeah, so definitely the app, there's like reward for good performance as well, which is another pro. So yeah, if you're doing really good, they always tend to like recognize it, although I feel like they could potentially do better in that aspect. I mean, but it varies like across the Big Fours, right? So this is only speaking like for one of them, but to be honest, like it's been so good. Zero regrets. I've absolutely had a blast working in the Big Four, and would I go back again sometime in the future? Who knows? But anyway, those are all the points I can remember for now. You guys let me know if you want me to make a follow-up video. If I remember anything else, I'll probably make a follow-up video. But yeah, I just want to say it's been such a pleasant experience, and if it's something you're interested in, I would absolutely say go for it, okay? Anyway, yeah, we've come to the end of this video. I will see you guys in my next one, okay? Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.